Hey gamers, welcome. This channel is all about awesome gameplay, chill commentary, and non-stop adventures. Get ready to jump into epic worlds, crazy battles, and loads of fun. This video is Understanding Lag in Resident Evil 3 on Dolphin Emulator. When playing Resident Evil 3 using the Dolphin Emulator, an open-source emulator for the Nintendo GameCube and Wii, some users report experiencing lag, or FPS, frames per second, drops, which can significantly affect gameplay. These performance issues aren't due to in-game glitches or bugs within Resident Evil 3 itself, but are more likely tied to the emulator's resource handling, settings, and sometimes hardware limitations. When does the lag happen?
Why isn't someone doing something about this?
Lag in Resident Evil 3 through Dolphin often occurs during specific moments, especially when new elements are introduced into a scene, enemies like zombies appearing, special effects or environmental triggers are loaded, scripted events play out, cutscenes, explosions, character transitions. A commonly noted issue is a frame rate drop when Jill Valentine is ejected from her apartment, which is an early scripted moment in the game involving dynamic visuals and loading of new character environment data. Safe texture cache settings, a double-edged sword. The texture cache in Dolphin is a feature that manages how texture data, graphical elements of the game like characters, backgrounds, is stored and accessed during gameplay. The safe setting is designed to prevent graphical bugs or missing textures in games with complex rendering needs. However, this setting can lead to performance degradation because it prioritizes accuracy over speed, causing slowdowns during heavy scene transitions or when rendering large amounts of new data. Is this a bug or glitch? No, this issue is not a glitch or game bug. Instead, it's a known emulation performance bottleneck. Dolphin strives to recreate console behavior on a different architecture, your PC, and sometimes that comes with compromises, especially in games with more demanding rendering sequences. Efforts by Dolphin developers. The Dolphin development team is aware of performance limitations in specific games like Resident Evil 3. They are continually working to improve the graphics backend efficiency, which includes enhancing how textures are loaded and cached, optimizing shaders, improving overall emulation performance with more accurate and faster rendering pipelines, like Vulkan, DirectX 12, and OpenGL. Still, some bottlenecks remain due to the emulated hardware complexity and how different games use unique techniques that challenge the emulator. What can you do to improve performance? To potentially reduce lag and increase FPS while playing Resident Evil 3 on Dolphin. 1. Review and adjust game-specific settings. Dolphin allows per-game configuration. Right-click the game in your library and choose Properties, GT, Game Config to tweak. Some games may benefit from disabling certain enhancements or hacks. 2. Adjust texture cache settings. Go to Graphics GT, Hacks tab GT, Texture Cache. Try sliding from Safe toward Fast. This can reduce lag, but might occasionally cause minor graphical glitches. Experiment to find the best balance for your system and preference. 3. Update to the latest Dolphin version. Newer builds of Dolphin include performance improvements and bug fixes.
How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter.
Development versions often perform better than older stable releases. 4. Use a suitable graphics backend. Switch between OpenGL, DirectX 11/12, or Vulkan to see which performs best on your system. Vulkan tends to offer better performance on AMD GPUs, while DirectX may 12th be better for NVIDIA. Ensure your hardware meets or exceeds minimum requirements. CPU, a modern quad-core processor, Intel i5/Ryzen 5 or better. GPU, dedicated graphics card, NVIDIA GTX 1050 or AMD equivalent at minimum. RAM, at least 8 GB. Storage, use an SSD if possible for faster asset loading. Conclusion. Lag in Resident Evil 3 on Dolphin is largely due to how the emulator processes dynamic in-game elements and how texture caching is managed. While it's not a bug in the game, it can hamper the experience if not addressed. By tweaking Dolphin's settings, particularly the texture cache, and ensuring your system is up to spec, you can often reduce or eliminate these performance issues. The Dolphin team is continually optimizing the emulator, so staying updated with the latest builds also ensures the best performance over time. How about you? What was your experience with Resident Evil 3 using the Dolphin emulator?